Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Local Jules, and if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you are one of my returning babes, hey beautiful. So as you can see based on the title, today's video is a chit chat and makeup, where we're gonna be talking about church hurt. So basically in this video I'm going to be talking about my experience and what I've dealt with and how I've dealt with it. So if you would love to hear my story and see how I created this look, go ahead and stay tuned, and I will see you at the end of this video. Alright beautiful people, here we are with another chit chat and makeup, which I'm excited about doing. I'm excited and I'm nervous at the same time because I've always wanted to talk about this topic, but I've never found the right time to talk about it, and then I felt it in my heart to talk about it, and I'm like, what better way to do a chit chat and makeup where doing makeup relaxes me, and then I can also talk about it because it's my truth. And I feel like this is a topic that a lot of people do tend to go through, and they don't talk about it, or they don't find a community to talk about it. So I'm like, let me talk about my story. So today's makeup, it's nothing extra or anything like that because I'm just doing my makeup so I can shoot some content for my Instagram. So it's nothing extra, but we're gonna do it here while we chit chat. And the palette we're gonna focus on today is the Huda Beauty Empowered palette. So I think I've used this palette before, or I've mentioned it before of how much I adore this palette because of the color ranges in here. Looks like this. So it's very gorgeous, and I love using it. So we're gonna focus on this palette only today, and then yeah, we're gonna talk. So I know I'm chit-chatting a bit too much already with this slight intro, but it's because I'm nervous. It is because I don't want things to come off negative. I don't want it to be I don't know what I'm worried about, because at the end of the day, it's my truth. It's not like I'm trying to push people away or anything like that. But anyways, let's just get right into it, okay? Before we start, we're gonna do a little bit disclaimer. This disclaimer, again, I'm gonna mention this again, this is my truth. This was my story. It's not up for debate or anything like that, because I know there may be people who know me who may watch this and may think otherwise, but I'm telling it in a way that I felt, I saw it, all that extra stuff, but so this honestly is not up for debate, because like I said, this is not me telling my story to push anybody away or anything like that. This is just my experience and how I felt and what I feel needs to change and to get better when it comes to situations like this. Okay, so that's my slight disclaimer. Okay, all right, so I did have to do a quick prayer before I started, because I had to remember that I need God to lead me in this, and because we know how things go. So another disclaimer, I am not the most holier than thou person, but I am a Christian. I believe in God and his son Jesus Christ. So I love to go to church. I love to praise God. I do sin, as we all do, but I'm trying to be better each and every day, because I have one goal of one place that I do want to go to, and that is heaven. And yeah, so anyways, back to what I was saying. So we're gonna go ahead and prime our lids with our e.l.f. concealer in the shade Rich Chocolate, which look like this. And then after we prime our lids, we're gonna go ahead and set it with our Laura Mercier translucent loose setting powder in the shade Medium Deep, and I got the travel size 1. I've been seeing this subject going around many times and stuff like that, and every time I do see this topic being talked about or mentioned in different platforms and stuff like that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I am not alone and stuff, because I see that a lot of people tend to go through it as more than we think it does and stuff like that, which is kind of crazy. But I do feel like church hurt happened more back then than it does now, because I feel like nowadays either they're younger leaders, or that they've come to their senses and understand what our elders did back then, or what they did was a mistake and stuff like that, or they're not trying to do what the other people did and stuff like that, so they change the ways to not allow any members to stray away from the church, instead to bring us closer and become family, right? Let's do a little bit rewind before I jibber jabble and stuff. So I am born and raised a Seventh-day Adventist Christian. I go to church on Saturdays. I do believe in God and Jesus Christ. Growing up, a lot of people would say, oh, are you Jehovah's Witness? And I'm like, no, there's definitely a difference. It's not the same thing. I guess because being that I went to church on Saturdays, I don't wear jewelry, I don't eat certain foods and stuff like that, they automatically like will put me into the category as a Jehovah's Witness. But we are not Jehovah's Witness, we are Seventh-day Adventists. We are considered under the Christian category. I was raised in that religion, and I'm still that. I still consider myself under that. I grew up in a Haitian, I guess I can say Haitian American, but it's more so Haitian church, Caribbean and stuff like that. So we already know how our parents roll, the adults roll, very much so old school and stuff like that. But that's like the type of church that I was raised in. Very family oriented, the church and stuff like that. But the rules, baby, the rules was ruling, but only for certain people, okay, is what I tend to realize. So anyhow, that is like the type of church that I grew up in, going to a certain church pretty much for a long time, since I came to the US until I was 25, 26 years old, and I am now 33. I'm turning 34 this year, so do the math. I've visited for certain occasions, but I do not attend that church anymore. I do attend other Adventist churches. And so, okay, so now that we're done prepping our lids, I'm gonna go ahead and go in the palette. I'm trying to clean this brush really quick because I did use it the other day and it still has like some purple in it, and I do not want any type of purple in this makeup look, so I'm trying to like clean it up a bit. So I am going to use my Sephora Pro Crease number 24 brush today. This is how the brush look like, and the shade that I'm going to use in this palette is called, I'm going to first start off with Legacy, which looks like this. It's like this brown right here, and then I'm going to kind of like apply this like a dark brown right here. I think it's like a dark brown. Yeah, it's like a dark brown, and it's called Confident, just to blend it out and stuff like that, just, you know, just to create like this look that I'm trying to do, that I think I'm trying to do. Honestly, I'm just winging it, to be honest. Back to the story. So yeah, so that's the church that I was raised in and stuff like that, and you know, I've been going there like pretty much all my life and stuff like that. So now let's fast forward just a little bit. So I met my now husband back in 2014, and we were dating and, you know, messing around, you know, like people do. And then in 2015, around September-ish, I found out, no, October, I found out that I was having a baby. I found out I was pregnant, and you know, it was pretty shocking to me because I honestly low-key felt like, you know, I couldn't, because I'm like, I didn't get pregnant or anything like that, you know, being that, you know, we was doing stuff without protecting ourselves, and I didn't get pregnant this whole time, and I'm like, you know, maybe I can't, I guess, or I don't know. I did, low-key. I was young, honestly, 24. It's not that young, but I knew what I was doing, okay? Let's get that straight. I knew what I was doing. I knew the consequences and stuff, but when it did happen, I was really shocked. Because I know, like, sometimes people get pregnant and people be like, oh, why are they shocked if you're having sex unprotected? Why are you so shocked? Because we be doing it, we be doing stuff, and then it don't happen. So it's like, you know, it goes out your mind like, okay, we doing what we need to do to not get there and stuff, right? So that's the mindset that I was in. So I definitely was shocked when I did find out that I was. I didn't tell my parents right away. I couldn't, because 24 to them and to society is still young, you know, it's still young. Nowadays, you know, maybe it's probably gonna look as if, you know, you're grown in 24, but 24, it was considered, or is still considered, I don't know, pretty young. and stuff. So it was definitely something that I was afraid. And I think like, not even now, like if somebody 24 is pregnant, it's still like something like hard to tell your parents, being that you're young, you're not married, you know, you're still trying to get your life together and all that extra stuff or whatnot. So anyhow, I found out, and of course I did tell him, because you know he was my boyfriend at the time. I told him and stuff like that. We did, you know, the test and went to the doctor to make sure and all that extra stuff. So it was then I was like, okay, how am I gonna tell my mother this and stuff like that, or both my parents? But first it was my mother. Anyhow, so finally I ended up telling my mom. Of course she was disappointed. She was more than disappointed. I ain't gonna hold you. She more so was disappointed. Okay, she was disappointed because, okay, yeah, I wasn't married. And then she was also like, the things that came out of her mouth was that, you know, it's humiliation to the church, and like what the church people are gonna say, and you know, all the extras. It's like that's what she was more concerned about. Like, oh, you know, it's embarrassing and blah blah blah, whatever. I was pissed, but I still love my mom to this day. That's my girl. Well, I'm just saying, like, you know, what happened then. So yeah, so she was more so worried about like the church's opinion. And of course she was pissed, and like, I don't know, she just like low-key did not want to talk to me and stuff like that or whatever, and you know, whatnot. So, you know, of course I left her home because I went to her house. Me and my husband, we had went to her house or whatnot to talk to her and stuff. So I left, you know, in tears. I was in shambles because I'm like, you know, I disappointed her. I'm humiliating her. I never want to see my mom, you know, disappointed in me or whatever. Like I said, even though I knew what I was doing, even though I knew the consequences, I still never expected to be in that position. So like the next day she did call me because the youth pastor that we had at the time, he definitely was for the youth. So he did speak to her, you know, and had her apologize. And my mom was definitely not the person to apologize, but she did apologize of the things that she did say to me. So we got over it, and it took a minute, you know, before she like finally like accepted that, hey, my second oldest is having a child. It was good after. Of course I was baptized. I was a member of the church. The youth pastor asked that, you know, we met with him. Me and my husband, we met with him and we talked, you know, about, you know, the whole pregnancy, whatever, you know, we talk. And then at the end of the conversation, because he had to do this being of his role, and you know, I guess the senior pastor, I don't know, y'all, I'm not trying to make excuses for anybody, but he was told to speak to us about, you know, the next steps and stuff. So now I'm gonna go in with the Confident, and I'm gonna use my Sephora Pro Crease number 19 brush, and it looks like this. So, you know, he spoke to us about the next steps that we had to take and stuff like that. If you know, you know where I'm going with this. So he spoke to us and was like, okay, basically we pretty much have two choices. He was like, we pretty much have two choices right now. One of the choices is that the first choice is we either get married and, you know, I guess my husband would have to get baptized and become a member, and then, you know, basically all of this will go away and I won't, you know, lose my membership. I won't be what's the word, how you say it in English, you won't be this fellowship or dismembered, right? So and then the other option was I basically would lose my membership. I would be dismembered from the church, and I would have to get rebaptized and basically go through the classes and everything in order to be able to gain my membership back. Okay, right? So when he spoke to us about that, I ain't gonna lie, I was like I don't think like I knew before that conversation. I didn't think I knew about the steps that it was, or the choices that was given to people before these things happen. And I think some people don't even get choices. You know, no shade to him or anything. It was just like we really doing this right now? So I looked at him and I was like, well, you know, I love my boyfriend, my husband. I love my boyfriend, I do, but I'm not going to be forced into marriage, because at the end of the day, yes, I am carrying his child or whatever, but like, God forbid, it doesn't work out. Like, you know, like, And even if it did work out, I'm not gonna let y'all force me into marriage right now when I'm not ready, you know. And I know some people may disagree because it's like, okay, you're doing adult things, you know, you deal with adult consequences, I guess. I don't know. But for me, it was just like, let it happen naturally, how it's supposed to happen. Not you guys telling me, oh, me and my husband gotta go get married right now type stuff in order for me to remain as a member of the church. No. No, no, no. I said no. I was like, no thank you, I'm not gonna do that and stuff like that. And yeah, you know, if you guys want to dismember me, well, if you guys want to do whatever you want to do, go ahead, but I'm not going to you know, like, do it right now at your time. Kept communication with me and my husband and stuff like that, continuously check on us and stuff. That's why I will always have like I will always have respect for that youth pastor, because he definitely was a youth pastor who actually did care for us youth and stuff like that. So I definitely respect him and still do respect him till this day. It came to a certain point where I accepted it and I'm like, it is what it is. Things happen. My child was not a mistake or anything like that. It was definitely, to me, a blessing, and I was just, you know, ready for it all and stuff like that. And you know, I was just pretty much excited. And if you already know from watching my previous videos, as you know, I ended up losing our daughter and stuff like that. So we ended up going through child loss like a few months later, and it was due to an autoimmune disease that I do currently have, which is like a blood clot disorder and stuff. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it and what disorder it is in my other videos, but it is a blood clot disorder that I do tend to go through whenever I get pregnant. It definitely affects my body. One thing I can't stand, let's take a pause on the story real quick. One thing I can't stand when I'm doing makeup is that one eye always look better than the other one. Like, I'm definitely feeling this eye better. Like, I don't know, something about this eye. Like, I tried fixing it and it's not working with me right now. I think I'm gonna see what I can do to make it just like this eye, but I don't know what's happening. What is happening? Okay, I'm gonna try Get It, because I haven't tried Get It yet. Get It is this right here. On camera, the camera doesn't do it justice, and then there's so much light. It's like it's more darker than what it looks like here on camera. It looks pretty light, but it's like an in-between nude, like in between a nude and like a peach. Oh yeah, it's giving very peachy. I couldn't find the right color. I'm using a flat brush that looks like this to apply this. And if you watch my other videos, you already know we're gonna pretend like we're doing a cut crease without doing like the actual cut crease step. So if you guys want to know more details about my experience with this autoimmune disease, we can talk about it. Let me know down in the comments below, and we can further talk about it like in another video and stuff like that. I don't mind talking about it. It's just that I know that it would be way too long if we do talk about it here right now. And I know you guys would not like to sit here and hear me talk the whole time. I'm already not enthusiastic enough, so I can only imagine, okay? Hold on, let me do my eyes first really quickly, and then we're gonna go back, because this definitely deserves a concentration moment. Alright, so we got our eyes going, so I'm going to go back in with my Sephora number 24 brush to blend everything out, because as we can see, everything is looking kind of crazy. So I'm not putting anything on the brush yet. It's whatever was left over on the brush that I'm using to blend it out. So I'm going into my creases, and I'm going to the side of my eyelids just to blend it out. And then if you want, you can go back with just a little bit. So the shade that I'm going back in is with that light brown, which is called Legacy, and I'm just blending them two together. Back to our conversation. Sorry for the wait. So anyhow, so very depressing moment, but I really believe that my faith and everything is what helped me get through. Saying that, you know, I didn't have my moments, because yes, I did definitely have my down moments where I will talk about it and just remember the traumatic experience that I went through, that I will continue, you know, to cry, or I'll be by myself and I'll just be sobbing. It was definitely painful, still is painful. I know people say, you know, time heals our wounds. I won't say that I'm healed, but I can't say that I've learned how to cope. I've definitely learned how to cope, and I can say I'm at a place where I am okay. I am okay. You know, I've had a second experience, not as traumatic as the first one, so you know, I've been learning how to cope with stuff like that. We're gonna wait till it gets tacky, so right now I'm all yours. So, you know, it happened, had the experience, and we decided to, because she was 6 months in, you know, in my stomach, she was like, she was developed pretty much, so we had decided to bury her and not give her away to the hospital and stuff like that, because Lord knows what they'll do with her and stuff. So we decided to have a service with her, for her. I'm not gonna throw shade of certain things that I feel that had happened when it came with the church situation, but I will say again, I will forever thank the youth pastor, because he was definitely rocking with us to the end. Came to the hospital to visit me, pray for me during the whole situation, and then he came to the service for us when we buried her, and everything, kept contact with us after. So shout out to him. We did it on a Sunday. I think it was like the beginning of March. It was like March something when we had the service. So I already knew, you know, that they were going to have like, because something, I don't know how they do it in like other churches or whatever and stuff like that, but I know with that church, I can't speak for every Seventh-day Adventist church because I don't know, but I know the specific church that I was going to, they have to have like a business meeting, I guess you call it, where, you know, they go and present the situation in front of the whole church. And then, so I've been to some, but I've never actually paid attention. But that one, I knew it was going to happen while I was pregnant, but I did not know it was going to happen still. So we buried her that Sunday, and then the following Saturday, literally a week later, they had that business meeting at church. I was at home. I did not go because I'm like, what am I going for? So I get a phone call, you know, people telling me what happened, and so of course they went ahead and dismembered me. And I know like there was like maybe like I was told like maybe like less than about 5 or maybe less who actually stood up for me and spoke on my behalf and was like, you know, that is wrong, and you know that, you know, I just buried my daughter, so why would they sit here and, you know, put more trauma on me like that? And, you know, they actually fought for me. And I don't think I've ever told these people thank you, but if you know who you are, shout out to you, thank you, because, you know, I wasn't there to voice for myself and you were my voice of reason, even though, you know, they still did not care. But, you know, thank you very much for being my voice of reason. That I would never ever 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 forget that. Okay, it was just like mind-blowing. And honestly, even my mother was upset too, because it was just like, y'all really did not give me a break. Like, if y'all wanted to do it, y'all could have did it, but wait like a month later or something. Like, I knew that it was gonna come, but I didn't think like it was gonna be like that. And I don't know, like everything started going through my mind. Like, I was just like mad at the world, or mad at the church, because it was just like, here I am, I've been supporting you guys since day one, and then you guys did this. Yes, I did sin, being pregnant out of wedlock, understanding that's the rule, but it was just like, I feel like people were not being sympathetic, they were not being sensitive to the situation, or just all around, it was like emotionless. It was just more so a business for them. And so of course, like I said, I was pretty hurt, and I was just upset, and I was mad at the world, no lie. Alright, so today's foundation, we're gonna go ahead and use our Lancome Tint Ultra Wear. Here it goes, it looks like this. And in this one, they discontinued this one, so I have the shade 555 Suede C. And then the new one, I don't know my shade yet, but I am gonna go ahead and try to figure it out to see what shade I am in. Currently, I'm not this shade right now. I would mix it. You know what? I am gonna mix it. I'm gonna mix it with my Nars Light Reflecting Foundation in the shade Namibia. The only reason why I'm doing that, because I could have used the Nars by itself, but I didn't want to waste my foundation, being that I'm not going anywhere. And then I'm going to use this brush. It is the face round brush. It's from a brand that I got from Amazon. And it looks like, so you know, after that happened, like I said, I was mad at the world. I was pissed and everything. So as the time continued, no lie, besides my friends and like family, when it came to the church, I only had 2 people come visit me. Okay, two. And it actually like made me like, okay, what like at the moment I didn't like look at it and stuff like that way and stuff, because it was just too much happening. But when I actually like had a chance to process everything, I was just like, you guys cannot be for real right now. It was only 2 people from the church who actually came to my home to pray with us, you know, just give us like guidance and words of encouragement. When it came to phone calls, I probably got like about 5 or less people who called us or called me to check up on us. That was very, very, very much so an eye-opener and very disappointing. So that was like another thing. Like, it's like all the hurt just kept piling. Here's where I was like actually pissed off with. I was really pissed off because I'm like, okay, y'all really sit here and y'all pick and choose what y'all want to do, okay, and who y'all want to dismember. Like, I've seen so many and heard so many stories, because we know how, you know, people talk and stuff. I heard so much stories, and I've never saw it brought to the board. I've never saw like the, I guess, shame and embarrassment that girls who get pregnant out of wedlock, or women who get pregnant out of wedlock gets. I've never ever saw that type of shame for different type of sin that I've heard has happened within the church, especially from leaders. But again, this is not to shade anybody or sway anybody from anything. This is my story that I don't even think I've never actually talked about it in therapy either. Maybe I should. So anyhow, pause. We're gonna go ahead and conceal now. I'm going to use my Urban Decay Stay Naked Quickie concealer in the shade 90 and in. And then I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. Rich Chocolate again to highlight and brighten it up just a little bit. And then I'm going to contour with my Black Opal foundation stick in the shade Java Dream. As of recently, I've been contouring first, applying the blush, and then I go in and I use my concealer, because to me it's easier. It's been easier that way, and I've seen people do it online. So I'm like, okay, let me try that too, and it's been working for me. I've liked how the finish looks. And yeah, so it was just like, you know, where are these people that, you know, I saw on every single Saturday, and, you know, who are supposed to be leaders and stuff like that. You know, it was just again, like I said, I was mad at the world and stuff like that, because it was just like, you know, this is not right. I feel like this is not right, because you guys claim, you know, to be what you say you are, but nobody's like supporting me or being there for me when I needed you guys the most and stuff. So, you know, again, I was pissed, but I still did end up going back to the same church. I visit because I was no longer a member. So I did visit and stuff like that. But then slowly but surely I did stop going just for a bit. And I had made the decision to find another church to go to where I'll feel accepted and where I'll feel comfortable to be there and stuff like that, because it came to a place where I was no longer comfortable. I felt like I was in a space with like people. You know what, let's be real. let me just keep it real. I felt like I was in a space with fake people. I did. I really did. And I did not want to be in that space anymore. I was just like, you know, to me, everybody, not everybody, but like majority of the people felt fake to me. And it was just like, I don't want to be here anymore. And I know, like, for some people, they would have stopped going completely to church, or maybe change religions, or you know, just, I don't know, like just go a whole different direction. But for me, I'm like, at the end of the day, it was the people, not the church. Not saying that, you know, I would go back to, no. Like I said, it was the people, not the church. And when I say that lightly, because it was the people in the church. So I'm still gonna go to church, and I'm still gonna be in that religion, but just not that church, because the people in that church is the reason why I felt the way that I did. And I, like, forever, like, thank my mom for raising me how she did. Shout out to her for doing what she did and raising us how she did, because that's why I'm, you know, who I am today. It's all because of her. So I did end up finding a church that I like and that I fell in love with. And even my husband like going to that church too. And mind you, he's not Seventh-day Adventist actually. And honestly, I'm not gonna force him to get baptized into the religion, because that's not my job to do that. The most that I do is that, you know, I'll talk about my faith, and because we believe in the same God, we believe in the same Jesus Christ. We're both Christians. It's just that we go to church in different days. So, you know, I'm not gonna force him to do something that he's not ready to do and stuff, and he's not, you know, forcing me either. Most of the time he goes to church with me on Saturdays if he's not working, and sometimes we go to a church of both of our choices on Sundays if that ever happened and stuff like that. Do I ever see myself changing religions? No, because I'm in a place where I am good where I'm at and stuff. So now I know some people are like, oh, you know, when you have kids, what you gonna do when you have kids and stuff like that? What religion are you gonna raise them into and stuff? Honestly, we shall see. We shall see. But I feel like God has provided me with the perfect man. Like, ain't nobody perfect. But he was made perfect for me and stuff like that. So I feel like God has blessed me with a great man, and we learn to compromise in, you know, different situations and stuff like that. And we have been tested several times, and I feel like, you know, we're at a place where we're good. We're really good, and it will be okay. And we'll get to a common ground where we'll come to an understanding where this is how, you know, everything's gonna be aligned when we have children. But my walk of faith with God, we're like this. We're like this, and every day is a process. Every day is a journey. Every day he is working on me of who I am. So, you know, that I did not stray away, and I'm like forever grateful for that. I actually got closer with God. I have brought up this conversation because, like I said, I know that a lot of people go through church hurt, like literally, because people can be mean. Like, and then the thing is, you know, some people will probably look at like, you know, why are you putting your all into people and stuff like that at, you know, at a space and stuff. It's not that, you know, we're putting our all into people or anything like that. For me, church is supposed to be a hospital. Church is supposed to be like a therapist's office. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to be able to find these type of people within the church who will be able to assist you and guide you and bring you closer to God, right? So it's like when certain situations happen, it's like, where are these same people who you know, worship? And I know everybody have their own lives and stuff like that, and everybody go through things or whatnot, but it's like, to me, it's different, like, because, okay, let me like go back just a little bit. To me, church is supposed to be like the example of how heaven is gonna be like. Like, nobody know how heaven is gonna be like, right? Nobody. But it's supposed to be like that example. Like, when I get to heaven, I want to be able to, I know all the problems, everything is gonna go away, But I want to be able to, you know, go to God and be like, God, I'm not feeling right today. This person, you know, pissed me off type stuff. Like, you know, something like that. Not saying that that's what's going to happen, but, you know, like, I should be able to do that. Right? So it's like here, that's what you want to find in a church, to be able to have like a community of people that you can turn to whenever things go wrong. If we're able to pray together, you know, why can't you, like, I don't know the words that I'm looking for, but if you get it, you get it. You know what I mean? A lot of us go through church hurt because that's the least place you expect for people to backstab you, hurt you, and all that extra stuff. Like I said, I've honestly been seeing that it's semi getting better in churches and stuff like that, because there's like now new leaderships. The younger generation is getting older and they're not settling for nothing. You know, our parents are, a lot of our parents are still around, a lot of the elders are still around. They're older, but it's like, you know, those old school rules do not apply like that anymore, is what I've been seeing. So all that to say is that yes, I went through church hurt, but I did not let that, you know, move me away from the actual reason why I attended church, and that is for God and his son Jesus Christ. Because again, like, I'm not there for them, I'm there for him. And yes, I left that church because of them but I did not leave him for them. You know, like, is that a word? Is that a word? Can I say that's a word? That's a whole word. I say all that to say I'm not stopping from, you know, being in the religion or attending church and stuff like that, or, you know, being a believer because of the hurt that I have went through. I'm not. I'm just not. I can't allow that, you know, to happen, because they're not my ticket to heaven. They're not. I've forgiven them. Yes, I have forgiven them. I have forgiven them enough that I could be able to go there and visit. I did actually visit that church a few weeks ago, last month to be exact. So we're gonna go ahead and set with our Anastasia Loose Setting Powder in the shade Golden Orange. You know, during COVID, you know, it made a lot of people, because everything was like virtual and stuff like that, a lot of people had stopped attending, you know, church face to face and stuff like that, because we had no choice. And I had stopped, you know, going to church. But then when, you know, things were opening back up, I was low-key comfortable where I was and stuff, and continued watching church online and stuff like that. And then being that I didn't have like a set church, it was just like, okay, I'm gonna just pick a church today and I'm gonna watch it online and stuff. And when I actually visited a church 2 weeks ago and stuff, it felt good. I felt, you know, I was back in that space and stuff like that, and it just felt amazing, you know, to say the least. We're gonna set everything with our Sephora Micro Smooth powder in the shade Hazelnut. And, you know, like, I just want to go back like to old times where, you know, like my mom, she would wake up early every Saturday, wake us up so that we can, you know, get our behinds up and go to church. My thing is, like, I'll be tired. I'm not gonna lie, I do be tired from the week. I'll be so exhausted that I just want to just lay down and, you know, catch up on my sleep and stuff like that. But it's like, you know, if I had to go to work that day, I would get up and I would go to work. No matter how tired I am, I would get up and go to work. So what's the difference when it comes to Saturdays for me to get up and go to church? Only for a few hours at that. No more than 3 hours. You know? So it's like there's no excuse as to why I cannot get up on Saturdays to take my behind to church. So I want to get back into that habit of getting up every Saturday and going to church and not just watching it virtually. I still pray every single day, every day, before I leave anywhere, before I drive, when I wake up and stuff. Every day I have my journal, I have my prayer book. Like, God is my road dog. He my dog. He's my homie. Again, that's my story. I don't know if you guys have any stories you guys want to share. Like I said, you know, this was not to shame anybody or be pissed at anyone, because like I said, I forgive everyone for, you know, that hurt and stuff. Like, you know, it is what it is. It happened and life goes on. I'm in a great space. So we're gonna go ahead and set our contour area with a powdered bronzer. So I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush bronzer in the shade 4. So I'm setting here. Y'all, let me tell you guys what I did. And I have a therapy session tomorrow, so I can't wait to tell my therapist. So that conversation is done, so we can move on, right? Right. Okay, so on Sunday I had did my my makeup and stuff like that for a video, right? And then after, when I was done, because you know, like I said, I don't be going anywhere and stuff, so I was like, dang, now I gotta wipe my face or whatever. So me and my because I had to tell my therapist a lot and stuff, so she was like, you know, have I ever been live before and stuff? And I'm like, no, I never went on live. And she was, so last year the goal was for me to go on TikTok live by the end of the year. I never did it. I never did it because I let fear get the best of me, of course. So but she didn't force me to do it or anything, you know. She was like, you know, whenever I'm ready I can do it or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, one day, just one day and stuff, because it's scary doing, you know, things like that. Look at my base, like I eat it up. All right, so before I put the blush, I'm gonna finish up with my eyes. So I think I am gonna add a liner. So I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Liner, liquid liner in the shade Jet Black. Back to what I was trying to tell you guys. So yeah, so the goal was for me to whatchamacallit, go on live, right? And I never did it, you know. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna just do it in my own time, being the fact that I'm, you know, I'm scared. I be scared. Doing stuff like this is like major steps that you gotta take and stuff. You're putting yourself out there, and I'm just a person who fear of the unknown, you know. I don't know, I'm trying to, you know, change that or whatever, you know, just taking the leap of faith or whatever. But you know, I'm just like scary like that. I did my makeup on Sunday or whatnot, and I was like, you know, I'm not going anywhere or whatever. I did my makeup, so you know, I feel good. I feel good right now. Let's go on live. And sure enough, I logged on to TikTok. I told my husband, I was like, you know, my hubbinger, I was like, babe, I'm going on live. I'm gonna go on live. He's like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go on live. Whatnot. I was like, I'm going on TikTok live. You know, I felt pretty old too, because I did not even know how to even go on live to access live. But I did it. I went on live. I did it. I was so proud of myself, because it was just like major move for me. And like, I so cannot wait to tell my therapist tomorrow. And even though the outcome was not what I expected it to be, it still was good. I still, you know, I was still happy and stuff. And because when I logged on, I'm not gonna lie, when I logged on or whatever, I was like, okay, where's everybody? And I think like the first time only like 2 people came on. No, it was 3, including my husband. Because I was over here, I'm like, dang, where everybody at? Like, nobody's gonna join my live. Golly. So I would go on live today actually, but it's already 8:42 and I'm trying to cook dinner for tomorrow and stuff. So there's work tomorrow. I gotta go to work, and I don't want to stay on TikTok just in case, you know, it goes good. I don't know. But yeah, it was about 3 people who came on, and then I logged off and stuff because I was there for like 5 minutes, I think. I was like, you know, I'm gonna wait till 5 minutes. If, you know, not that much people come on, I'm gonna log off. So I did. I logged off because like it was nobody was talking. Those 3 people, nobody was talking. I think my husband did, but that was it. So I logged off, and then when I logged off, I was like in this high. I was like, oh, you know, I just want to try again and stuff like that. So I did. I tried again, and I went back on. And I think this time around 5 people joined in and stuff like that. And when I spoke to one of the persons that had joined, kept conversation with me and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. You know, I gained a follower and stuff like that. It was just like, it was just exciting, even though it was not that much people. It just felt good that, you know, I took that leap of faith, and then look, I'm still here. Like nothing happened to me. Like, why was I just that scared, you know? So I'm really proud of myself, and I can't wait to tell my therapist tomorrow about it. Like, I can't wait. For blush, we are going to use the Morena Beau in the shade Cashmere Rose, one of my faves, and it looks like this. So the last thing that I wanted to say, honestly, really about when it comes to church hurts, anybody who's watching these videos, like in the church teams or anything like that, honestly, like, connect with your community. Like, connect with your community, connect with your members and stuff like that. Everything is not always like, I mean, churches are not perfect, it's not peachy or anything, but honestly, you guys are supposed to be there for all of your members, especially when they need help, and you know, crying out for help, for, you know, guidance and stuff like that. You are supposed to be the voice of reason and allow them to continue seeking God and not pushing them away from God and stuff. So I honestly feel like, you know, the work need to be hard. Like I said before, I feel like it is being done. So continue working on that. Continue creating programs for your youth that is in your church, especially because we need God more than anything right now in these days and stuff like that. Nobody, like, I'm not asking like for feel-good messages or anything, but this whole like trying to shame people for sins that they've done. We are all sinners. We are all sinners. That is the reason why God sent his only son to die on the cross for us. Okay, we are all sinners. Not saying that, you know, it's acceptable for the sins that we make, but instead of pushing us away, guide us, take our hand, walk with us, and show us the path, you know, that we're supposed to take, so that we don't continue straying away, especially when times are tough as well. All right, so the spray I'm going to use is my Urban Decay all-nighter. I'm going to use that. Y'all, on my camera I have about 4 minutes, 5 minutes. For lippies, I'm going to outline my lip with Wet n Wild kohl liner in the shade Simmer Brown, my fave. So I'm gonna go in with my Juvia's Place Libra lipstick, matte lipstick. I'm gonna go in with my Fenty cream in the shade Fenty Glow. Alright babes, so this is the finishing look. I did go ahead and added some of my Anastasia Beverly Hills lip gloss in the shade Cotton Candy. I added this just a little bit to the bottom part of my lips just to make it a little pinky-ish, you know? So I did go ahead and add that, and that was just pretty much it and stuff. I didn't add that much, but I like. So babes, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know it was a bunch of jibber jabber and stuff like that, but I hope you did hear my story, my message, and you know, just understood where I was coming from. And if you actually been through the same thing, go ahead and leave it down in the comments below. I would love to hear your story as well and how you were able to deal with it as well. And yeah, we should do more of these. I love doing my chit chat and makeup. Let me know of any other topics you would love to talk about. I would love to, you know, talk more, just have our chit chat and then do my makeup while we're doing it, because I know sometimes you guys don't just want to see me do my makeup, you know, or maybe you do. So let me know, just let me know down in the comments below of anything that you would love to see from me next. This is the end of our video, and I hope you return to my next video, and yeah, I will link everything down in the description box below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Don't forget to just leave me a comment or anything else that you would love to see from me. And that is pretty much it. So I will see you beauties on my next video. Bye.